Well, hello there. Welcome to your monthly numerology here at Readings at the Round Table. I'm Jennifer. We may have met before. And this is your numerology for June 2025. So, full disclosure, I've recorded this intro a couple of times. One time, my sound went out and I didn't notice. So now I have the little sound bar right in front of me. So hopefully I won't miss it if my sound completely conks out like it has in the past. Second, my little friend back here, Mouse, yeah, he has disrupted a couple of recordings, but no matter what happens this time, even if he gets in the way, I'm going to soldier on. That's what we're going to do. So let's get to it. June. All right, now I'm going to do the overview of astrology, and it is a very quick snapshot kind of overview. I usually do not cover a lot of the aspects, especially aspects with the moon and Mercury, because they move really fast, right? However, today I am going to cover a few aspects that I think are important, and that's where I'm going to leave that. So we're starting off June. June 6th, we have Venus moving into Taurus. And Venus loves being in Taurus because Venus rules Taurus and Libra. So Venus loves being in Taurus. It's a very happy place. I think this is going to be a good time for all. Money-wise and romance. Mostly when it's in Taurus, it's about money. It's about material things. But, it still has that little bit of a connection with love. On the 8th, we have Mercury moving into Cancer. But before Mercury moves into Cancer, which is about 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mercury is going to be conjunct Jupiter in Gemini. So while Mercury is still in Gemini, Mercury is going to be conjunct Jupiter. And that's some good luck, because our planet of communication is conjunct our planet of luck. I love that because, I'm double ruled by Mercury. Yeah, good times. So lots of stuff going on with that. However, Mercury does move into Cancer about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 8th. Then on the 9th, Jupiter decides to jump ship and join Mercury in Cancer. So Jupiter moves into Cancer as well. This is a much happier place for Jupiter. It's not that Gemini was a bad place for Jupiter. It's just that Gemini is opposing the sign that Jupiter rules, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So that's an opposition that usually they're not happy, opposing the sign that they're ruling, these planets. So this is a happier place for Jupiter. Jupiter is going to be in a good space for the next 12 months in Cancer. Now, we have a lot of aspects on this day, a lot of aspects. The ones that are really important is the moon is square Mars, Mercury is square Neptune and Saturn, because Neptune and Saturn are right there together in Aries. Venus is square Pluto. So there are some squares that I just feel like are really important. And nowadays, when things are squaring Saturn, it's squaring Neptune as well. And it's it's kind of a double whammy with those squares in Aries. So just letting you know, and you can take a deep dive with some of these other wonderful, wonderful astrologers on YouTube and Instagram and listen to what they're saying about these squares. Because a lot of times the astrologers will cover them a couple of days before it happens. So that way I'm telling you when it's going to happen and you can go check it out. Okay, on the 11th, we have a full moon in Sagittarius that hits its peak at 3:44 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love a full moon in Sag. Oh my gosh. Full moon in Sagittarius is just so much fun. It really is. Oh my gosh. Yeah, again, you always want to invite a Sagittarius to your party, right? Yeah. So on the 17th, we have Mars moving into Virgo. It is a good place for Mars. It is very, I mean, this is a very analytical fight. Maybe not one that you want to pick. I'm just saying. So with Mars and Leo, Mars is already fiery. I mean, it rules Aries. And so Mars and Leo is a very fiery, like, you know, we bring fire to the fight, right? Being in Virgo, Mouse, what are you doing? Please don't knock down the camera. I really do love this cat. Mars in Virgo is still going to be a tiny little bit fiery, but it's going to be more analytical, and it's still a bite that stings, let me tell you. But Mars in Virgo is going to want to take things apart and just be like, and you did this in 1987, and you did this in 1992, and this in 2006. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the Virgo energy with that fun-filled, like, Mars. So on the 20th, we have the sun moving into Cancer, and we have summer solstice. Oh my gosh, I love summer solstice. It's just an incredible time of the year. On the 25th, we have a new moon in Cancer that hits its peak at 6:32 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is square Saturn and Neptune. Luckily, it does move really quickly because the moon moves really fast. So it is square Saturn and Neptune. Not like it's not the worst thing, but I'm not loving all these squares with Saturn and Neptune involved. Again, I encourage you to take a look, and I encourage you to look up like the squares in astrology and what's going on, because this is about numerology, and this is just an overview of the astrology of the month, so you can kind of see what's going to happen with your life path number. On the 26th, we have Mercury moving into Leo. So Mercury in Leo is just right out there. Oh my gosh, Mercury in Leo wants to be seen, wants to be like right on top. I mean, you know, this is an Oscar winner right here, Mercury in Leo. So Mercury in Leo is a lot of fun, very talkative, and definitely like right up front wanting to be seen. It's really awesome. So at the end of the month, at the end of June, we have Saturn and Neptune in Aries, Venus and Uranus in Taurus, Jupiter and the Sun in Cancer, Mercury in Leo, Mars and South Node in Virgo, Pluto in Aquarius, and Pluto's retrograde right now. And we still have North Node in Pisces. So we have 3 planets in fire, 3 plus North Node in, 3 plus South Node in Earth, 1 plus North Node and the Sun in water, and 1 in air. It's very exciting planetary-wise. I know. I really do feel like it's a good month. I mean, I never look at any month as just going, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're going to be in this. No, because there's good and bad in everything, and there's always a shadow side, right? Right. But if you're prepared for it, it doesn't like pull you into like a sinkhole. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. All right, so for the crystal of the month for June, oh my gosh. So, I looked up a couple of things about this lovely crystal. It is citrine. So excited. And all of the publications and the website that I used to find the information for citrine are listed in my description below. I used the Healing Oracle Crystal Healing Cards by Rachelle Charman, the Encyclopedia of Crystals by Judy Hall, and this wonderful website that I found, and I love talking about some of these websites that I found, is Tiny Rituals. So please go check them out. They're pretty awesome. I love finding these places that, you know, talk about these crystals, and it's just fantastic. It's awesome. So go check them out, please. This is citrine, and of course, this is not going to be in focus. Why? Why is this not in focus? I mean, there we go. Thank you, Canon. All right, so this, the card that I pulled is from the Healing Oracle Crystal Reading Cards, Citrine, and it's about abundance. But that's not all. Oh my gosh. So citrine, you can find it in like a sort of milky white color. You can find it really clear, tumbled, rough. You know, they come in all. And really pale orange, like a really light yellow, or a darker orange. And I have examples of all. These are the ones. Okay, let me try that again. The chakras that citrine really, really hits home with is the sacral and the solar plexus. It does work on all chakras, but the sacral and the solar plexus are the biggest ones. It's the number one thing that you want to bring in with those two chakras. And I really, solar plexus is my favorite chakra, so I think we've talked about that before. I do have two examples that have small Herkimer diamonds in them. It's really kind of cool. And I picked up some extra ones because, again, I'm re-recording this because of my little incident. But I picked up some extra ones from a local shop called Heart, Soul, and Art. And these are so pretty. Oh, I can't wait to show them to you. So I'll pull these in just a minute and show them to you on the overhead camera. But some of the places that I read in in the cards and in the book, was that they never need to be cleansed. But I also read it, like, again, and I can't remember which one of these in the website or the publications, the best way to cleanse them is to sit them in the sun or to run them underwater. Now, I typically sit all of my crystals out in the full moon to like clear and cleanse my crystals. However, there are crystals that prefer the sun. There are crystals that prefer just like sitting on like earth. There are crystals that prefer just running underwater to clear them and cleanse them. I don't know if this crystal really does have to be cleansed or not, but I choose to clear and cleanse my crystals because let me tell you something. I get my money's worth out of these crystals. I use the crap out of them all the time. So just letting you know. This particular crystal is an amazing energy clearing stone. It absorbs, transmutes, and grounds negative energy. It attracts abundance, so it's perfect to put in your wealth corner with feng shui. It promotes joy, inner calm. It increases energy, and like if you're working in a creative space and you need to increase your creativity, this is going to be your best friend. Really is. This is a crystal that brings in the joy and magic of life. I mean, it really is associated with the sun. So there's a lot of joy here. This is a great stone for emotional balance. This is perfect stone for the 9-year that we're in for the numerology because it helps us to shift out old patterns of negativity and reverse self-destructive behavior. Thank you, Mouse, for cleaning yourself. Like right here, I'm just going to try to block him. I mean, really, he's going to like take a bath on camera. I told you I was just going to let this go. I mean, it's really so good. This crystal is definitely a fantastic purification crystal on all levels. I mean, it can cleanse all chakras, but it's really, really associated with the sacral and the solar plexus. It assists in manifesting wealth and abundance. It is a super awesome, fantastic crystal. Now, let me move my notes out of the way so I can show you some of these awesome crystals. Okay, sorry, stuff got disconnected. Okay, so these are clear and milky crystals, but these are the citrine that I bought from that lovely store, Heart, Soul, and Art here in Marietta. These are so awesome. Then I have some that like I've had for a long time. This is also another tumbled stone that's, you can see it's more milky, right? But you can see the yellow in it. Here's some that are not as clear, and these aren't tumbled. These are just the rough stones. so pretty. And this is one that has the Herkimer in it. I also have another one that has the Herkimer in it. Hang on. Oh, yep, right here. And you see how dark this one is? You see the darkness of the citrine? Isn't that just gorgeous? And these are ones that I have sitting on altars in my house and right over here in my wealth corner, you know. But oh, those are so pretty. Here's another one that is sort of, it's not exactly a smoky, but it's a lighter one. I think it is called a smoky citrine. One that has a little bit of a darker citrine in it. Then someone gave me this as a gift, and I keep it beside my bed. It's just a little vial of citrine. I love it. I love it. I love it. So there's all the citrine examples that I have. So you can find it. And I have some jewelry, but I've packed it up because I am going to do a pop-up shop. I do have some jewelry that I think is just fantastic to wear, like really close to the skin. It's awesome. So all of that being said, I'm really excited about June. I am. And before I get into your individual numerology, I will be pulling from for advice cards today, I will be pulling from Moonology, the Oracle cards, and the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. There we go. Thank you, Canon. The Goddess Guidance Oracle deck, those are the cards I will be pulling from today. And as usual, I will be reading from the Moonology book because there's so much information in that booklet that I can't ignore it. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful June. And let's stay tuned and see what's going on with your individual life path numbers. Hello, Life Path 6. Well, June for you is going to be a roller coaster. Okay, let me explain just a little bit, okay? June for you is a 3-month, all right? Fantastic number, very creative, very artistic, extremely imaginative. This is all about communication. Communicating your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings. It's very much the vibration of self-expression. That's what 3 is all about. Speaking your truth, self-expression, and self-expression not limited to like art or writing or speaking or music. It's all of it. Or it's just, whatever your taste is, but it's not limiting. It's not limiting in any way, shape, or form. This is a very cheerful vibration. It really is. Now, the reason why I say this is a roller coaster is because really Mercury is going to have a huge effect on a 3. It usually does. It really does. So because Mercury is the planet of communication. So we see a lot of movement with Mercury this month. Now, Mercury does move pretty fast anyway, but this month in particular, in June, we're going to see Mercury starting off the month in Gemini, then moving to Cancer, and then moving into Leo, all within 30 days. So, very interesting how it does affect the ability to communicate. At least it's not retrograde, right? I mean, when you're in a 3-month and it's retrograde, it's just so much fun. Yeah. But this is an amazing time for you, and you're going to get to feel all the different, like, I want to say variables of Mercury. Yeah. I mean, because Mercury is very variable, and I'm not talking about my cat who, she moved. She's over there eating now. But I'm talking about Mercury is pretty variable, pretty changeable. But having it go through 3 different signs in 1 month is going to be really interesting, especially when you're in that 3 vibration of communication. So the mantra of the 3 is, I am creativity and vibrant expression, sharing my authentic voice freely. What are you doing, Mercury? Yeah. Sharing my authentic voice freely. So, this is something that I tell, and here's Mouse. Well, we're just like bringing all the cats in right now. So this is what I tell everyone who is in the vibration of a 3, whether it's the month or a year, but this is really important. Freedom of expression, freedom of thoughts and speech does not and should not cause injury to others. It does not mean that it's okay to hurt somebody else's feelings or to cause injury to someone else, especially for personal gain. That's not where we're at here. You are there to speak your authentic voice freely, not to cause injury to others. I know. Sometimes it is hard, isn't it? So the shadow side of a 3 is judging the self so harshly that it starts overflowing into other people. So when it starts overflowing into other people, then we're starting to get really, really judgy about everybody else. That's not nice. It's not. And it really does cause more harm to yourself than it does to anybody else. Yeah. Being unable to speak your truth or unable to communicate freely or openly can have some domino effects by making everything very pessimistic. You start to get a bit gossipy. You can start exaggerating. So watch yourself when you're communicating this month. If you start feeling like you are trapped or you can't communicate openly, watch yourself. Don't start like doing, the southern exaggeration of telling stories. Yeah. That fish was this big. Yeah. And don't get gossipy, because that again has a lot of negative domino effects here. The lesson of the 3 is communicating openly and letting go of judgments of the self and others. Yeah, I think I just went through all that, explained it pretty clearly. Yeah, this is a pretty good time for a 6. The vibration of the 6, as you know, is very family oriented, but it's also very creative and very artistic, very much like the community values, the family values, like bringing in, you're all about being a friend and a counselor, being a teacher, like what can I do to help everyone live their best life, and being compassionate. You need to, and you should be living in the vibration of being compassionate, not only to other people, but also to yourself. Yeah, very, very important. I'll remind you of your mantra, which is I'm compassionate and generous, inspiring mutual love, respect, and truth. Well, aren't you just a little inspiration? I know. Because you are focused on family and marriage and partnerships, and you do have a lot of respect for other people, this is also a great time for you to focus on the fact that Venus is moving into Taurus, into a very happy place. And yes, this part of Venus is more about like material things, it's about our money, but Venus still incorporates that love, that like love for everyone, but also that romantic love. So this can be really an important thing to pay attention to. Yeah. Sorry, I got wig glue in my eye earlier, and oh my gosh, it's driving me crazy. And it probably has a cat hair in it. Yeah, I know, Mouse. He's so cute, but really, like, the tail, he's so funny. So, you are a very generous person. You're a very generous vibration, life path 6. And I do think that, I think this can be an amazing month for you. It really can. Remember your shadow sides. Learning to be alone without being lonely. Don't judge other people. Don't take responsibility for other people's decisions. And certainly don't accept, let me rephrase that. Accept people with no judgments. That's definitely something that we can all work on, but it is one of your shadow sides, is, is being able to accept people with no judgment. What do you think? What do you think? Huh? Let me remind you, the lesson of the 6 is to be patient, accepting, and to speak your truth. Another speak your truth. Yeah. Speak your truth without judgment or desire for a specific outcome. And there is a component of the 6 vibration where you do need to be able to speak your truth. You do need to be able to say, this is what I need, this is what I want. Isn't that right, Mouse? Isn't that right? He is so cute. He's just injured. He keeps injuring the same leg. So he's a bit feral, so I'll let him outside. And he keeps injuring the same leg. So then I don't let him out for long periods of time. And he gets really mad. Like he's mad right now. It's good. Okay, let's get to your advice cards. I know, I'm just like, Chatty Cathy tonight. Today? Is it tonight yet, Mouse? Blackout curtains are doing their job because, I don't know. What time is it? Oh, well, it's not quite tonight. Yeah. It's evening. Ooh, I say this word wrong every time, but I think it's Mawu. I think that's right. I'm not sure. Mawu. This is amazing. Mother Earth, you are called upon to help with environmentalism. Okay, I love that. Because again, component of the 6 here is as above, so below. So what we're given from the universe, we should also be putting out. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot more to that. And that is like a whole video into itself. Oh, okay. Mutable moon. Nothing is yet set in stone. There we go. Okay. Mutable moon. Nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable is all about change, shape-shifting even. That something is still developing. I like that. Something is still developing. This card indicates that something is indeed changing and there's room for a maneuver. So take it as a sign that the situation you're asking about is far from finalized. If you're not happy with the current state of play, that's marvelous. It means you can still change the course of the outcome. However, there is also a sense that the situation could perhaps be a little unstable. For this is great news because you can still influence it. Others will struggle with the uncertainty, but should stay with it a little longer. Either way, nothing is yet set in stone. I know that the best will unfold for me. I know that the best will unfold for me. I love it. I love this for you. I love it. Thank you so much for joining me today, Life Path 6. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful June. And until we see each other again, get out there and make your magic. Bye.